We are live.
Yes, sir.
What are we talking about today?
Well, today we're asking a very important question. You know,
Hmm.
is France betraying its Enlightenment values in pursuit of security in the wake of the
Hmm.
recent rise of Islamic terrorist attacks or terror
Sp-
activity? And,
too late.
and is France betraying its values? And
Maybe not. We
is
don't
it
know.
infringing? Is it infringing on the rights of French Muslims? These are
Hmm.
very important questions as we face, the most dangerous religion in the world.
Okay. Yes, the most sort of ideas in the world right now as a whole.
hmm
But let's see. Does that mean maybe it's justified, maybe it's not? But let's look into this. So you sent me this article to look at.
Yes, so this was published in the beginning of October,
Hmm?
so a little while ago, about a month ago. And let me double check. So, well, because I want to know. I think this was published. This article, I believe, was published 2 days before the beheading of Samuel Paty.
What?
Yes.
Before? Are you sure?
Well, what's the date on this? I think this says that it's the 14th. Yeah, this was published on October 14th. Samuel Paty was killed on October 16th.
Wait, so they shut down 733 mosques before that even happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. What's the reason? Okay, let's read this article.
Okay. Let me bring you full screen so I can see this better. Okay. At least 73 mosques and Islamic private schools across France have been closed by authorities since January. So, January of 2020, this has been ongoing,
Hmm.
in a bid to combat, quote, extremist Islam. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said on Tuesday. During a press conference, the minister confirmed that a mosque and a private school in the Helwalt area were closed last month, along with an organization and 9 shops in other regions. The minister also called for the expulsion of hundreds of foreign nationals from France. We must expel 231 foreigners from French territory who are residing there illegally and are being pursued on charges of extremism, including 180 imprisonment, he said.
Hmm.
The move comes amid heightened tensions between France and its Muslim community. Last week, French President Emmanuel Macron described Islam as a religion in crisis worldwide and said the government would present a bill in December to strengthen a 1905 law that officially separated the church and state in France. He announced the stricter government oversight of schooling and better control of foreign funding of mosques. Macron also warned against the creation of a counter society holding its own laws among France's Muslims.
This seems that so far it just doesn't seem, just at a glance, doesn't seem wrong. Doesn't seem. It seems like they're taking away religious privilege away. It seems like they are trying to hold accountable a community in France to the laws that already exist that they have been getting away with not abiding by under the guise of religious freedom or religious intolerance. Again, it really depends on how this was executed and how what these specific mosques have done, right?
Yeah.
But the language seems to be more as in, it doesn't seem like, it seems like we're just like looking into what these mosques are doing, and if they're doing something shady, we're gonna shut them down. It wasn't like the Austria one. I was like, oh, we're gonna take preventive measures and stuff like that. That seems like kind of shady from the government side. This one seems like shady from the mosque side. Like you guys have already been doing stuff that, and you've been getting away with it because and the you know pretending that you're doing just like using religion as a shield, right? and we're not finally cracking down on this, right? Like, you see the difference? You know, I did a live stream on what Austria was doing, and to me it seems over there they were like, yeah, you guys, we don't like you, and we're gonna like take preventive measures before you even do something. This one is the opposite. To again, it might be wrong. The details might be wrong. This what France is doing is that, yeah, everybody else doing illegal stuff gets gets arrested. So you guys need to get arrested and shut down as well. You guys are not, So the difference is one of them seems to be extra targeting. The other one is to be like, now we're gonna treat you like you're everyone else. And this is the law that already existed. We're not even introducing new laws, right? Strengthen the 1905 law that officially separated church. Yeah, basically all the stuff that we did to the Catholic Church, that basically they're saying this crap applies to you too. You're not different.
We're taking it to you.
Yeah, like we already done all of this crap to the Catholic Church. You guys are next, So yeah, I feel like just by the initial, again, if we look into this, the government did something shady. But why are you swearing? She's having audio issues. Don't, guys, YouTube is being very, very, very strict with us recently, so we should be careful not to swear. Are you okay? Ooh,
I lost my audio
issues.
sec.
All right, I'm gonna move her. She keeps having audio issues. She doesn't understand that if she can't hear us, we can still hear her, and then she's swearing, and now that's on the video, and now we can't. But to be fair, I swear as well. Are you okay?
Okay, I do understand that, but I still need to be able to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but you said SHIT. Oh, there we go. Now she's muted herself and she's speaking like a boomer. Are you okay? Oh. Are you okay? Are you with us? Susie? You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're
but
just gonna
very barely. Okay. All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. Continue reading.
He announced stricter oversight of government oversight of schooling and better control over foreign funding of mosques. Macron also warned against the creation of. Oh wait, no, I already said that. Scholars at Egypt's prestigious Sunni Islamic institution, Al-Azhar, denounced the remarks as, quote, racist and accused the French leader of spreading hate speech.
Oh my God. Okay, like, I don't want to, guys, we're not even going to say it, It's just too dumb. I'm just going to highlight the word racist here for you guys. I don't know, it just keeps popping up, okay? And, this is so, by now, like, I know you guys were going to, whoever in the live chat was getting to write, oh, Islam is not a race. How is this racist, guys? We done this already, okay? I'm tired. I'm tired of mentioning this. Islam is not a race. How could this be racist? Blah blah blah. Like, what is this? What is this? Is this like 2015? Right? Are we still here? This is like, are we still back there? I'm not. Yeah. Nobody. Shh, do not say anybody in the live chat. Do not. We're beyond this now. We're beyond this. Okay, we are beyond this. We're not gonna address. We're just gonna stare. Al-Azhar. By the way, this is like the intellectual capital of the Islamic world. Okay, Al-Azhar University is the intellectual capital of the Islamic world, and they're saying these remarks are racist. Okay. We're not gonna type Islam is not a race. We're just gonna stare, okay? We're just gonna stare at the camera, okay? I'm going to Al-Azhar University. Okay. Are you serious? Yeah. Just look at them in shame. Just like shame. Shame bells. Where are the shame? Do we have shame bells? Do the shame bells in the live chat. Shame. Ding, 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 ding. Shame. That's it.
Oh
That's all they're
my
going to
gosh.
be.
And to me, I think about the bells they do in Mass. That's what I
Okay.
think about. Or monks doing self-flagellation. Flagellation.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Okay, your idea is really crap, by the way. Don't. Once it goes
shoot.
above certain level, it counts out. But it's okay. It's okay. All right, let's
Okay.
continue with the article.
He made false accusations against Islam and that have nothing to do with the true essence of this religion, Al-Azhar's Islamic Research Academy said in a statement. Such racist statements will inflame the feelings of 2 billion Muslim followers around the world and block the path to constructive dialogue, the statement added. Al-Azhar said that making false accusations about...
I'll read it. Your idea is crap. Al-Azhar said making false accusation about Islam or other religions, such separatism and isolationism. Oi, are you serious right now? Okay, there you go. Thank you. Went against the actual reality of what these religions call for. Okay, Al-Azhar said making false accusations about Islam or other religion, such separatism and isolationism. Unbelievable. Okay, this is these measures are supposed in France are trying to fight against separatism. They're trying to fight against isolationism. I mean, do these people know how, Al-Azhar University, that, like, did you actually look into the measures and what France is trying to do? Maybe do some research before you're criticizing them. Such separatism and isolationism, false accusation about some others. What are you talking about? The whole issue in France right now is that they're separate. The whole issue in France is that there's a two-tier system, that there's different laws for different people, that their children are being raised in separate echo chambers, that they're being isolated, and that they're trying to find a way to include them in the rest of France's society, the rest of French society. And then you say something like this. Is there any chance that they actually looked into what these policies are trying to do? Hey, Al-Azhar University, maybe stop pretending to be a university if you don't even understand what you're criticizing. It also condemned, I don't know, do they know? Did you know this and they still said this? Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. Yes, at a university that doesn't do research, RIP. I'm going to make my own university. Hossein is going to make your own. Guys, by the way, if you guys don't know, the center of Sunni quote unquote intellectualism is Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt. Okay, and when it comes to Shia Islam, so that's Al-Azhar is Sunni Islam. When it comes to Shia Islam, is Jose Elmiye Qom, which is in the city of Qom in Iran. Okay, so Al-Azhar for Sunnis, and that's in Egypt, and Qom is for Shias in Iran, is for the center of intellectualism for all Shias around the world is in Qom. But it's very interesting because Al-Azhar is named after Fatima, is named after Muhammad's daughter, right? Zahra, right? Which is a very Shia thing to do. So you would be like, why the hell is the center of Sunni intellectualism named after the symbol of Shiism, which is Muhammad's daughter? Well, because this university was made when under the Fatimiyun, when Egypt was Shia. So that's why the name is Shia, even though now the university is very Sunni. It was made when when Egypt was extremely. We had the first Shia regime. The first Shia regime was not in Iran; it was in Egypt under the Fatimiyun. I think I got that right.
Katie has a funny comment. Yes, I met a guy the other day who's half white and half Islam.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Some of my best friends are half Islam.
Okay, Qasim is saying Imam Khomeini was right. All problems rims from university. He didn't mention which university. Did he actually say that? Interesting. Okay. It also condemned those who exploit or employ religious texts to achieve unsavory purposes. You mean like Al Azhar University? Turkey's president just Erdogan. Turkey's president Erdogan also hit back at the French leader. This is all, guys, but this is all before the beheading. Macron's statement that Islam is in crisis is an open provocation beyond disrespect. Erdogan said in a televised address, "Who are you to talk about structuring of Islam?" Well, who are you to tell him? Okay, every time somebody says, "Who are you to talk about X?" then the response should be, "Well, who are you to talk about? Who am I to talk about X?" Okay? And then the response to that should be like, "Well, who are you to talk about who I am to talk about who are you to talk about X?" Right? Like, you see how you play that game? Like, what do you mean who I am to talk about X? I don't have to be anybody. I could just talk about X. Like, what does that mean? Like, who are you to talk about this specific topic? Like, I can be anybody to talk about. Like, who do I need to be? Who do I need to be exactly to be able to talk about X? Right? Can you? What are the criteria? Like, what exact? What? You know? You want? Are you asking for my name? Are you asking for my what? Anybody could talk about anything. Okay, so Erdogan is saying, "Who are you to talk about the structure of Islam?" He asked, accusing him of, what is this? Imperitance? What does that mean? Susie talking to us muted because we can't hear her. Impertinence, lack of respect, and rudeness. Oh, well, good. Why do you need? Okay, Erdogan. Like, what? First of all, did anybody like listen to that speech? It was one of the most like. It was extremely considerate. It was extremely considerate and nuanced and careful, and you can't win with this. And it was, they never highlight the parts that he keeps saying, like, France is supposed to be for everybody, and we want the Muslims to feel included, and we want them to feel French, and we want them to not be isolated, and all this radicalism is hurting the Muslims the most. They don't include that. They're just like, you're being rude, you're being racist, you're being bigoted, like, and then they keep highlighting the part that says Islam in crisis, which is, that part is wrong because Islam is not in crisis. Islam is the crisis. But the rest, but they're like, "Oh my God, look at this, how rude this is," and they never, when they highlight the speech, they never mention those other parts. They're so dishonest in the parts that they highlight. Erdogan advised Macron to pay more attention while talking about issues that he is ignorant about. I'm sorry, Erdogan, but Macron knows way more about the problems than actually Erdogan. You should be more careful because you are Islamizing your own country, so you are ignorant about maybe you're not, but you are the problem, Erdogan. You are Islamizing your own country, and Turkey is going to suffer for decades to come because of you. And Macron is making his country better. So shut up and learn a thing or two from Macron. We expect him to act as responsible statesmen rather than act like a colonial governor. Oh, a colonial government, the person that says like France should be for all people, and we want all French people, and we don't want a two-tier system. We don't want to have you have French citizens and Muslim French citizens as if they are not citizens, as if France is. Yeah, how colonial of Macron to wanting to make French Muslim feel like French, to make them feel like France is their home. How colonial of them. Yeah, sure. Yeah, how, like, let's not have different laws for different people. That is the opposite of colonial. Okay, that's the exact opposite. Let's make people feel, people who are isolated, people who have been otherized, people that have been segregated, people like they feel like this country does not belong to them. Let's make them feel included. Let's make them feel like they are proud to be citizens of this country. That's the opposite of being a colonial governor. The whole idea of colonialism is like we are better and these people live under our boots. That's what colonial governance is like. Not like, hey guys, this is our home. We're all French. Let's abide by the same laws and let's make everybody feel included. That's the exact opposite of colonial governance. Turkey is a majority Muslim but secular. What? Oh yeah, Turkey is a majority Muslim but secular secular country. Sure. Secular. Okay, Turkey is a majority Muslim but secular country, which is a part of NATO but not the EU. Its membership bid of the European body has stalled for decades over a range of disputes, both domestic and foreign policy related. Yeah, I think that is over now. Are you with us, Susanna? Nope. No, we have no idea. All right, let's go to the next article. I wanted to show you guys this because it was interesting. Okay, so that one was a lot older. That was the pre-beheading, and now we have the post-beheading videos. Okay. Hey, Afshin is here. It was secular. Yes, it was secular until the Ummah nation arrived. We are Islamic. Okay. We have a Turkish person here. We are Islamic dictatorship now in Turkey, close to Sharia. Wow, isn't it great? So we have Turkish. Look, is Idris here as well? We have French people here. Like, this is the beauty of our live chat. It's great to have you here at Seas. Like, every time we talk about Egypt, we have Egyptian here. We have talk about Turkey. We have a Turkish person in the live chat. We talk about Iran. We have Qasim and Afshin here. Mortad Skeptic, where are you from? We talk about India. We have a whole bunch of Indians in the live chat. We have like a multinational. Like, we're all everywhere, all over the planet. We have people in the live chat to represent. Then talk about, give us on the ground authentic information. Yes, and then the Oman nation attack Turkey. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are freaking awesome, aren't we, Deborah? All right, so let me read this because this is okay. So France government put mosques under police protection after threats. Okay, on Wednesday. So this is like October 21st. On Wednesday, French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said he asked local authorities to put mosques in the cities of. I'm not gonna. Should I even try? Oi, Susie.
Can you hear me
Hello?
now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. God damn it, Susie. Can you fix this? How hard is it to get this audio stuff fixed? I have
I was testing everything before the show, and then it happened on.
Okay, good. Okay, get a new headset, okay? Because even before all this problem, you were sounding like like this, okay?
I
So
know.
it's cheap. Get it cheap. Use you already have access to our bank account. Use Atheist Republic money, okay? Just a tiny bit of it. Just buy like a $30 simple headset. Get this one that I have, okay? It's very cheap, very simple, and has never failed me. What's so hard with that? You, Rivka, and Ali Rizvi, like every time I say, like, guys, fix your audio, and you're like, yeah, I know. How hard is it to get like good audio?
I did. This is like so new, and it's already giving me crap. But we're not here to talk about that.
No, we are here to talk about that. It doesn't matter if it's new, if it has audio, no audio canceling features, nothing. Just get something simple, okay? The fact that it's new is not gonna help. It just needs to be simple, non-fancy stuff, okay?
Okay, I understand. Can we move on?
Deborah's saying, "Oh, poor Susanna, I get new equipment for all the birthday money." No, keep the birthday money for fun. Use the Atheist Republic Patreon money to get yourself a new headset, okay?
No, but my birthday money is going to AR.
No, okay, no.
Because we didn't talk
You
about my birthday wish was not actually kinky. My birthday wish was that I could do this full time.
Okay, sure. You're changing this. She's changing it after she was drunk and she was
That's
more
not
honest.
true.
She was more honest.
No, I'm being so serious right now.
Okay. All right. All right. Can we get back to this?
Can we?
Can we? Oh, Qasim, look, your Sims are showing up. Don't put people under pressure. What? Oh, okay. Then you need better equipment. Murtab saying, I was born in Egypt, but I'm half white, half Indian, and I live in Canada. No, you should say, okay, and half atheist. Oh, Susanna, you're so sad. I'm just gonna be mean to you just so that people are more like show you more love. To this is my trick. Your Sims will show you more appreciation. If they come and defend you, they're like, "Oh, like Armin, stop being so mean to Susanna," and they like try to come and protect you. They're so protective of you. It's nice. It's sweet, right?
Yeah.
That's why I mean. That's why I mean to you, so that your Sims rise up. All right.
We must protect our queen.
Our queen. They protect the queen. All right. The. Oh wow, Fatima has her own Sims now.
Oh my
Wow, this is how great Atheist Republic is. Our Simps now have Simps. Our our Simps have Simps now. This is like Inception level Simps. Okay, the minister wrote on Twitter, "Such actions are unacceptable to the soil of the Republic." Oh wait, let me go from the beginning. On Wednesday, French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said he had asked local authorities to put mosques in these cities that I'm going to mention, under police protection following threats or acts of violence. The minister wrote, such actions are unacceptable on the soil of the Republic. The threats come just days after Chechen teenager beheaded a French history teacher for showing caricatures of Prophet Muhammad in class in a middle school northwest of Paris. France Blue Radio reported on its website late on Tuesday that leaders of the Rahama Mosque in Bezurs had filed a complaint with police following hate messages on Facebook, including a call to set the mosque on fire.
Oh
France
no.
France Blue displayed a Facebook message which has since been deleted, urging that homage be paid to the murdered teacher by torching the Bezir's mosque. Okay, so I don't know how to read this again. Here's another article saying exactly that. Okay, I just want to. Do you know why I'm highlighting this, Susie?
Well,
Because
because the French government is actually protecting mosques.
yes, because a lot of these, because of these Muslim YouTubers that like, oh, France is Islamophobic. France versus Muslims. Muslims. This is not your country, and you join the Ummah, and we're participating to the otherizations of Muslims in France, even though we are technically doing exactly that, and French government is doing the opposite, right? They would not look at this. Okay, this is what it means to live in a secular country. This is what it means to be a Muslim in France. It means that if you are being targeted for your religion, you get taxpayer. Look at how armed this guy is. Look at how badass this guy looks, right?
Mm-hmm.
The French government will send its police and its military. Will send free bodyguards. You get free bodyguards. Your mosque will be defended by the French government, by French citizens' tax money, to defend you against the people who wish you harm. All you had to do in secular France, Muslims, hey, French Muslims, pay attention, okay? In secular France, okay, this is what secularism means. Secularism doesn't mean that you get prosecuted because you're a Muslim. Secularism means that if somebody wants to wish you harm, do you harm because you're a Muslim, you pick up the phone, You tell, hey, Mr. Government, hi, how are you doing? Long time no speak. I have these people coming at me, and I don't know, I'm a little bit scared. Can you come protect me? And the government is like, yeah, sure, buddy, no worries, of course, of course. Oh, then
That sounds
people,
like
what?
that sounds like me after I haven't prayed. You're like, hey, long time no see. What's up? I need a favor. Can you help me? It's like, nope. See, that's the difference.
This is the French government telling the Muslim, like, I got you, I got you, I got you. Yeah, no need to explain. I'm sending people. We're on our way. We're on our way. We'll stand guard in front of your mosque. Look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this badass. This is Muslims in France. Do you feel French enough now? Do you feel French enough knowing that you could call the French government and you get free protection? Because that's what you get because you're French and you deserve to be protected by the government. Are you not proud of your government defending you, of standing between you and the people who wish you harm? Does this not make you feel happy that you are French? That you are that you're a citizen of this country? This is what gets you, okay? This is what secularism means, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to deal with cartoons here and there, okay? I'm sorry that you have to be like, oh, it's offensive. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, okay? Nobody should for some people are gonna draw cartoons. I know that's hard to accept, but hey, if at least you have to give it the is that not a small price to pay for a country that protects you when somebody actually wishes you harm physically? Do you want to, if you want to get rid of the secularism, do you want to get rid of both? How about like,
No.
do you want to live in a country where people don't get to draw cartoons of Muhammad? But let's say like Pakistan, huh? Do you want to be a Muslim minority group in Pakistan, right? Like, let's say a Shia in
Oh
Pakistan,
my
right?
gosh. No, let's bring it down. Let's talk about the Ismailis. Let's talk about the Ahmadis.
Ahmed. Yeah. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to like, hey, guess what? Nobody can draw a cartoon here of Muhammad. Yay! But there's a mob at my door, and I'm like a Muslim, but I'm a minority sect of Muslim, and I think I committed they accused me of blasphemy, and now I don't know if I'm gonna live. But no one gets to draw Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yay! Amazing! So great!
Or,
How
just like there was recently a case, they'll just target you on the street. There was like an 82-year-old man that was shot dead just for being Ahmadi. There was a bank manager who was a targeted assassination just for being Ahmadi. Like, absolutely insane. And it's to the point where in Pakistan, it is well known that people will often go K other people and then just use blasphemy as their excuse for that K'ing, right? But
right?
we got a super chat from Varun. Gave us $5. Thank yous for the $5. Saying most Muslims don't identify with the country they live in. Islamic identity is numero uno for them. I don't know about most, maybe
Many.
many,
Yeah, I
but I
don't
don't
know.
know about most.
Maybe it is most, but this is what. Okay, but that's the problem that Macron is trying to fix. So he's not doing the otherizing. He's trying to fix the otherizing. He's trying to be like, yeah, this is, hey, Muslims in France, you're French before you're Muslim. Like, you're French. You are French, and I want you to feel like you're French. Okay? Erdogan and these other Islamic leaders from Malaysia to Iran to Pakistan to Turkey, they are doing the other, and also all these YouTubers, all these like Muslim content creators, they're like, ooh, French is like being evil, and like they're like, oh yeah, they're oppressing Muslims because they don't. First of all, they don't even. The government is not even drawing your cartoons. They're like, basically, you're being oppressed because the government is not stopping the cartoons. Which one do you want, Muslims in France? Which one do you want the government to stop? People actually targeting your mosque and threatening your lives, or the cartoons? Okay, because secularism stops one of those two. Secularism, a secular country, stops one of. You're like, secularism is anti-Islam. No, secularism is not. We are anti-Islam. Secularism is not anti-Islam. Okay? Secularism lets you express Islam as much as you want. Okay, as long as you're not committing any crimes. Okay, but a secular country stops. As a Muslim living under a secular country, the secularism of that country gets you one of these two: stopping people who want to target you for your religion, or stopping people who are offending you. Pick wisely.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get rid of secularism because you're going to get one of these and you're going to lose the other. You're going to lose the other. This is the offensive cartoons that you're tolerating. That tolerance, this is what it gets you. Where did it go? This is what it gets you. Is it not worth it? Is it not worth it? Hey, yay.
I had one more article that I wanted to highlight that I sent to you in the Facebook chat.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Okay, let's bring it up. This I want to click on that article, but this picture is so badass. I don't want to stop. I mean, look at it. I mean, doesn't that make you feel great? Like you're like, hey, look at this. We just called the government, and this is what we get. This is the level of protection we get. There's somebody standing guard. Look at him. Look at him. He's watching. Like who wants to harm? Who wants to harm our fellow? Look at him. Like anybody wants to harm our fellow French citizens, they have to go through me. Okay, you have to go through me. Look, I'm looking like, are you threatening the Muslims? Are you doing it? Are you threatening? Look at him. He's like I'm standing guard here, but I'm standing guard. Yeah, no, you guys don't get to do that. Look at this. Like,
yeah, but they would probably say it doesn't feel good to feel like they need that level of protection.
Yeah,
but the fact that it's there when it's called is awesome.
Yeah, the fact that of course, so there's two different elements. When the risk is there, you get the protection, but also the fact that the feelings are there, you fix that. You know what helps with actually getting rid of those, not getting rid of it, reducing those feelings that people, the anti-Muslim bigotry that people have, is, well, if Macron is successful at
in integration,
in the integration and removing segregation, if more French people if Muslims get exposed to non-Muslim French citizens more often instead of living in their own corners, and more non-French Muslim citizens get exposed to French Muslim citizens on a daily basis, and they work with each other, and they shop with each other, and they go to classes with each other, and they watch each other TV shows, and they talk, just talk to each other on a daily basis. That's what's going to help long term, both for Muslims in France feel like they're part of society, and for other people to feel like, yeah, these are our fellow citizens, right? Like, again, that's not going to make it go away overnight, but that's how you make them feel included. That's how other people see them less as foreigners and others and non-citizens. So the solution, even to the solution to that other part, is also desegregation, right?
AGA, defend the brie.
I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
It's like the brie cheese.
Oh, okay.
Like you gotta defend that cheese, bro. I love brie, so that really hit for me. So I wanted to talk about this article because this was a little bit more controversial, and this is something you talked with Ali Rizvi about in the immediate wake of the killing of Samuel Paty. This is from Associated Press, saying French militant group mosque to close after teacher slaying. So scroll down. France's president on Tuesday named a domestic militant Islamist group as directly implicated in last week's gruesome street beheading of a Paris suburb of a teacher who had shown his class caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad. Emmanuel Macron said the group will be ordered dissolved Wednesday when a mosque that relayed a denunciation of the teacher is also to be shut. A terror investigation is underway into the killing by a 18-year-old Moscow-born Chechen refugee who was later shot dead by the police. The killer had been identified by authorities as Abdullah Azarov. A judicial official said early Wednesday that 7 people detained in an investigation into the grisly slaying, including 2 minors, were to go before an investigating magistrate later in the day for eventual preliminary charges. The 7 were among 16 people, including 5 adolescents, initially detained for questioning. 9 are being released. The official was not authorized to be quoted by name. Investigators are trying to learn how the killer, who lived in the Normandy town of Evreux, set up his encounter with Paty, and whether there was complicity and whether the beheading was premeditated. Speaking after a meeting with regional officials working to counter radical Islamists, Macron added that other associations and individuals are on the radar to be shut or silenced. Okay, wait, skip down. So Macron,
Okay,
Macron said a group called the Collective Sheikh Yassin will be ordered dissolved at Wednesday's cabinet meeting. Named after a slain leader of the Palestinian Hamas, the group was founded in the early 2000s by a man who is among those detained for questioning. Macron did not provide details on how the group was directly implicated in the attack. Interior Minister Gerard Darmanin said later on BFM TV that the person in question helped disseminate the virulent message of the student's father against the teacher in what increasingly appeared to be a case turning in part on a spiraling fever on social media among some Muslim individuals or groups. The beheading resonated far beyond France, with the Grand Imam of Al-Shiraz, the Sunni Muslim sect of learning in Cairo, disassociating himself and all Muslims from the attack in a message read to faith leaders at an interfaith prayer service in Tuesday in Rome. Calling the beheading sinful and criminal, he also said that intellectual integrity is compromised by insulting religions and abusing sacred symbols under the slogan of freedom of expression. So this is the same great university we were talking about earlier. Macron has asked for quick, concrete action in the case. The French president is waging war on what he calls separatism, referring to Islamist extremism that authorities say has created a parallel world in the country that counters French values. Okay, here's what I wanted to get to. A mosque in the northeast Paris suburb of Pantin is being closed for 6 months starting Wednesday night. A sign posted by the regional prefecture at the mosque entrance said that the house of worship would be closed for 6 months with a 6-month prison sentence for violations. The Pantin Mosque is being punished for relaying the angry father's message on social media that called for mobilization against the teacher.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's bull crap. This is all bull crap. I don't like this. This is okay. So as much as this
is why I wanted to highlight it.
Yes, so I celebrated the anti-segregationist movements that France is doing. I celebrate them protecting the mosques who are being under attack. This is like anti-free speech, collective punishment kind of crap. Okay, but go on.
So this mosque is being shut down for 6 months for relaying the angry father's message on social media that called for the mobilization against the teacher. The father quoted his 13-year-old daughter as saying the teacher had asked Muslims to leave the classroom, a version that was contested by Paty himself, according to press reports.
Mm.
Authorities said the mosque has long had an imam following the Salafist path, a rigorous interpretation of the Muslim holy book. Pantin, my accent, was also the home of an 18-year-old Pakistani refugee who 3 weeks earlier had attacked and injured 2 people with a meat cleaver. So they're talking about an attack in which this guy from Pakistan went to the former offices of Charlie Hebdo, and he attacked 2 random people who he assumed were working for the newspaper. Charlie Hebdo they're not even headquartered there anymore. Their location
Yep.
is a secret, and he was celebrated as a lion of Islam back in his village in Pakistan, even though he attacked. I mean, 1, it's a cowardly thing to do, but 2, it was like the wrong people.
Right.
Not even the right people.
But let's
So
get
yeah,
back to the point. Yeah, because I want to focus on how this France is doing wrong here.
yes.
I think we already
Yeah,
finished.
so then it just talks about a memorial being held for
Right.
Pati.
So
But I wanted to talk about this mosque closure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you highlighted because I don't. Okay, so first of all, the only situation where this makes sense is if you close a mosque for a short period of time, specifically for investigation to see if a mosque was responsible for an act, and it doesn't seem like it was. This whole idea of like,
Yeah.
well, they played this the father. Okay, so the teacher showed the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly fine. A father complained. That's not illegal. The father who complained about the teacher showing the cartoon, that's not illegal. I mean, I disagree with that father's complaint. The father's a moron. But last time I checked, being a moron was
It's not
legal.
illegal.
Yeah, it's not illegal. Yeah, so the father was like, "Why are they showing cartoons to my children in class?" Blah blah blah. And first of all, they didn't. The kids could leave if they didn't want to. And he was like recording on social media, recorded a video, and people were like, "Oh, the father is responsible. The father is criminal." The father was exercising his freedom of expression to complain about something he didn't like. Okay, we are on the side of showing the cartoons. We're against. We disagree with the father, but he didn't do anything illegal. And then what did the mosque do? The mosque showed that video of the father complaining about the teacher. Yeah, that's also allowed. That's also allowed. So you're shutting down the mosque for taking the legal route of complaining about something they don't like. What do you want them to do? Like, what do you want them to do? Like, you're shutting down. I mean, this is kind of like encouraging, like, okay, not excusing it, but you need to let the avenues of people being able to, you need to let people rant and put out their frustrations out there, because if you shut them down, then it's going to come out from a different way. I don't understand.
I have a little bit more background. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, let me zoom in.
That's the mosque that they closed right after the beheading, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, because that article that we read previously wasn't very specific about what was going on at this mosque to precipitate it being shut down or to justify it. So, yeah, so those who violate the order are getting a 6-month prison sentence, like off top. The 6-month order was for the sole purpose of preventing acts of terrorism.
No, but they shut down. Okay, violation of
the
what?
mosque came after the or after. Sorry, the order came after the mosque shared a video on its Facebook page that directed verbal attacks at history teacher Samuel Paty prior to the teacher's beheading. And then it gives more background. The mosque then shared a video recorded by a man who said his daughter was in Pati's class, calling the teacher a thug and asking other parents to join forces and say, "Stop, don't touch our children." So I was looking for other articles about this.
Yes.
And they basically said that this mosque was being shut down for directing hate speech at Samuel Paty, which, like,
What?
that's allowed.
I mean, it wasn't even hate speech, but like, yeah, it's speech. It was speech. They're like, we shouldn't. They were trying to protest the teaching. Again, they're morons. Let me tell you this: they're morons. I'm not defending what they're complaining about, but they get to complain about the things that they're butthurt about. I mean, this is stupid that they're butthurt about this. We will call them out for being butthurt, but they get to do that. They get to come. They get to come cry. They get to come out and cry about it. That's allowed. They can like.
Well, and also, again, some of this came down to, like, I don't know how much of this has to do with lost in translation stuff, because, like, directing hate speech at someone, like, that's very vague. That's not a crime. Like, if they were doxing, if it was targeted harassment, like, that's different. But just directing hate speech isn't. And I agree with you. I think it's wrong that there is a blanket ban on this mosque for 6 months. Like, it should be solely for the duration of the investigation. And I don't know
Yeah,
how they would
6
already know.
months.
I don't know how they would already know, like, oh, well, this investigation is already going to take 6 months. No, that's not how that works.
No,
Like,
it's collective punishment. That's what it is.
yeah.
This is not the closing of these mosques was not because they were responsible for the attack. It was not because of investigation. It was collective punishment, and that should be legal. What the government is doing should be legal. Hossein is saying, I think the argument is that the actions they took led to the terror attacks. Yeah, but first of all, they didn't. Second of all, even if they did, it was not illegal. What they did is not illegal because you know what else led to the actions by the terror attack? Islam as a whole. What
Oh,
you want to? Yeah, what do you want to do? You want to ban religion now? You want to ban certain ideologies and ideas? Because I can tell you, it was Islam that led to that attack. There's no denying that it was Islam. So what are you gonna do now? Ban Islam? You can't. You can't do that.
no,
Okay, I don't know.
Armin, we're only banning political Islam.
Guys, again, I'm celebrating the two other things France does. Okay, what
Hmm.
Macron is doing was fantastic. Anti-segregationist, anti-radicalism, making sure that the children are not being raised in echo chambers, and making Muslims feel more French and part of the and mixing with the rest of society. That's all, and naming and shaming Islam, and calling it out for what it is. Okay, that is all great from Macron. Another part I like what France is doing. I love that France is taking protections of Muslims very seriously. That's what the secular country is supposed to do, and that's also I celebrate that. But this stuff, this specific closing of mosques, and collectively punishing people and telling people that they have committed hate crimes just because they complain about something, as moronic as their complaints are, they get to complain. They get to come and say we didn't like this. They get to do protests. They get to do. They could have escalated a lot. They haven't even started the protest. They could have escalated a lot more, and it would have still been illegal. They could have had people outside the school with like banners and like no more cartoons. Yeah, stop being Islamophobic, and they could have like all the parents in the front of the school like waving their signs. That should have like they didn't even get to that, and that should have also been allowed, right? That should have also been allowed, and they didn't even get to that. Okay, and they're like, yeah, there's a beheading, and you guys didn't ask for the beheading, you didn't want to do the beheading, you didn't justify the beheading. You just said we don't like the cartoons, and then because there was a beheading right after you say you just don't like the cartoons, we're gonna close down your mosque. And if you don't like it, if you violate this, we're gonna put you in jail. Like
6 months.
6
6
months.
months straight up.
Like what? No, that seems overkill and illegal. That seems like anti-secular. Anyways, let me see if anybody disagreeing with me because I was hoping some pushback. I was wanting to highlight some push. Oh, this is okay. A former Muslim here, shutting down fundamentalist breeding mosques are necessarily in civilized countries. We have to counter them with education and open pushback against their efforts of radicalization. Okay, so I'm sorry, you're an idiot because the radical. Because the radical, I'm sorry, my fellow ex-Muslim, but you're an idiot because
Oh no.
the radicalization is not going to be like, imagine thinking this, imagine thinking like, oh, the only way that these people could have reached out to these young Muslims were like through the mosque. Now we shut down the mosque, and the mom is like, oh no, how could I talk to them? How could I reach out to these people, young Muslims? I wish I had like this thing that was like that I could go out and type my anger and reach out. Like I wish I could post something somewhere, and all
Mm-hmm.
these young Muslims could go see my posts and my tweets and my Facebook messages. And I wish I could like record my audio and to tell them how anti-Muslim France has become because they
Yep.
closed that. Like I wish there was another way that I could reach to these Muslims. That oh no, they closed all. Like there's nothing I cannot. My voice is being like I speak now and I talk about my complaints and my anger, and it's just like throwing words into this void that nobody will ever hear. Like I now live in this chamber and I like just my ideas are just bouncing off the walls and nobody could hear me because they closed down this mosque. What do you think is going to happen? What the hell do you think is going to happen? Do you think these young Muslims, the ones that go, dude, the ones that go to these mosques, these young Muslims that go to these mosques, they can't wait to get out. Okay, even the ones that are Islamic enough to go into a mosque and pray rather than pray at home, they go in there, they pray, they get out. Okay, and do you know how many of them are actually paying attention when there's a khutbah? No, even when they're consuming their Islamic stuff, they're watching YouTube videos. They're looking at comments on their Facebook posts, on Twitter, and on Reddit. They like do you think they're listening to this old dude telling him like I've been to like a lot of these mosques even as an ex-Muslim? Okay, nobody's paying attention to what this old geezer is saying right on top of the member. Nobody's paying attention. He's like, you know what they're telling you on there? They're like, even when he's saying like, oh yeah, remember that brushing your teeth will give you rewards in the afterlife, blah, blah. This guy is like looking at like Facebook messages like, oh yeah, France is like anti-Muslim and we need to do something about it. Even in the goddamn mosque, you're like looking at their Facebook comments and Twitter. Even while the khutbah is happening, they're listening. That's what they're paying attention to. Okay, so what are you gonna do? You think like, oh yeah, closing of them? You just fed them the radicalization that they needed. Like you just give them what they want. Like look at this. They were like, dude, the people that are doing the radicalization, this is what they want. This is what they were waiting for. This is the gift to them. Okay, because
people need to understand that it fuels persecutory delusions.
No,
Absolutist and extremist ideologies feed off of persecution and persecutory complexes. So you're gifting them. You're gifting them their narrative. You're gifting them one of the best tools for radicalization.
I'm telling you, they walk, these content creators, they wake up in the morning and they're looking for a way, like, how could I make Muslims angry today? And sometimes they look and they have like, God damn it, I guess I have to talk about Tom and Jerry, how Tom and Jerry is anti-Islamic because nobody's doing something significant today, anti-Islam. Like, I guess I have to be like, hey, look at that celebrity being so like dressing up like
promiscuous. Oh my god.
Because there's not enough anti-Muslim hate in the world that I could highlight. But when they wake up and they look at the news and they're like, they're shutting down mosques? Alhamdulillah, finally I have something. Hey, where's the ummah? Come at me, take out your pitchforks, and let's go after France. This is how this is how the otherization happens. This is how Muslims in France feel like the French government is against them. And if they feel like the French government is against them, you know what's going to happen? They're going to feel like they're going to feel like, oh, this is not our home. And if this is not our home, the Ummah is our community. The Ummah is our community. And this segregation between Muslims and the rest of France is going to encourage more radicalization. You know what makes Muslims, what counters that? You're like, is this? This
Yeah.
is what counters that. Hold on. Where is this?
Oh,
This. Oh, I need to add it to the stream. There we go.
there we go.
This is what counters that.
You
This
just
is
want to
what
keep looking at that picture.
yeah, I just want to keep looking at. I just want to keep bringing. This is what de-radicalizes people, okay?
Offsheen is raising a very good point, though.
But let me one more point,
Yes.
okay? Other than the fact that this closure of these mosques, like this way doesn't help. Like it actually encourages radicalization rather than discourage it, right? It, even if it didn't, there's a bigger cost. Okay, so you're like, oh my god, radicalization, more terrorist attack. Okay, there's a bigger cost.
Mm-hmm.
There's the bigger cost, and
lay it on them.
This is the betrayal of enlightenment values. You're like, oh, even if it did help, I'm telling you, it's not going to help. It's not going to help de-radicalize France. But let's say there was somebody showed us, like, let's say actually we looked into it and we're like, yeah, it does help. It does help de-radicalize some people. It's not worth it. It's not worth it because France is France because of enlightenment values. Do not throw out the baby out with the bathwater. If you have an itch on your hand, you don't cut off the arm. You are betraying France. If you betray your enlightenment values, this is how terrorism works. The terrorism works not because of the people who died. The terrorism works because of the much more number of people who will eventually die because suffer because of the betrayal of enlightenment value. It's the backlash. What the terrorist group want, and this is how they get you, is how you respond to the attacks that usually ends up being more costly than the attacks themselves. How you respond, the betrayal of the values that made the highest number of people come out of the misery and poverty and death and disease in the world, the throwing away of those values, the throwing away of due process, secularism, government accountability, free speech, the throwing away of these ideas will end up costing you way more in the long run. More people will suffer. You stand guard. When you are afraid, when you get afraid, like, oh my God, they're coming at us, you stand your ground. This is why, this is the test to how loyal you are to these values. When they scare you, that you think you need to betray, when they scare you and you feel like when you get angry or scared, those are the times that we need to stand ground because we know other people will betray it. Okay, the people that say freedom of speech, due process, human rights, a lot of them became tribal when they get scared or angry. And they're like, in this case, one time, we're going to forget due process. One time, we're going to forget freedom of expression. Because they're scared or they're angry. And it is exactly at those times that we need to stand our grounds because other people are not. We defend the freedom of speech of people who are saying the things that we hate because that's the only time you know you're standing for freedom of speech.
It's about consistency.
Ex-Muslims, if ex-Muslim stands for the freedom of speech for blaspheming against Islam, hey, congratulations, you're an ex-Muslim and you're defending the freedom of speech of the people who agree with you. Congratulations, whoopie-doo. No, you're for freedom of speech when you're defending the freedom of people who are saying the things that you hate. I defend the freedom of speech of people who say I should be beheaded for being an ex-Muslim. I defend their rights. I'm like, hey, if somebody wants to stop you for saying that, Islam, Ali Dawa saying like, hey, ex-Muslims under Sharia law, I defend that guy's freedom of expression. Okay? Human rights, like if you say like, hey, human rights due process and all, but this guy, we should throw away due process. You're not on the side of due process. You're not on the side of secularism. You're not on the side of enlightenment values. Stand your ground, especially not like the periods of time that is like this is an exception. That is exactly when we are needed the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other times are easy. Other times it's easy to convince other people. When people are not angry or scared, when we be like, hey, freedom of speech, people are like, yeah, I agree with you. These ideas sound nice. But when they were like, well, maybe this time, that's when we're needed the most. That's when we're like, even this time, I was gonna swear. Even this time.
Oh,
Even this time.
especially this time.
Especially this time. Exactly.
Option is saying something that I'm inclined to agree with. I think it's a good idea to close mosques based on where their funding comes from.
Yes. But
That's
again,
different.
no, it's not it's actually consistent, guys. If a mosque is getting a mosque should be closed down for the reasons that it would have been closed down even if it wasn't a mosque.
That's what I meant
Okay?
by different. There's that
Yeah.
distinction.
They're like, oh, Armin is against closing down the mosque, but this mosque is doing illegal stuff. Like, shut it
That's
down, you
a
idiot!
different crime.
No, it's not. It's not a different. It's a crime, dude. We are saying we should take religious. Okay, it's so easy to understand. Okay, there are times where people go after a religious group or institution not because they committed the crime, but because they're religious. That's illegal. There are times that you are not going after a religious group of people or a religious institution, even though they have committed the crime, but you're not going after them because they're religious. That is also a crime. We are asking for consistency. When there's a crime, take action. When there's not a crime, let it be. How hard is that? Don't be thought policing people. Do not thought police the people. If they committed a crime, do not let them use their religion as a defense. Go after those mofos. Go after them. When we say we are for secularism, they mean like, hey, why is the Catholic Church getting away with all these crimes? Why is this mosque getting with all this crime? Because like, we're a religion, we're different, don't come after us. Like, yeah, well, no, screw you, we're coming after you. You go to jail, your mosque is getting closed down, your church is getting closed down. Okay? We come after you. You don't get to use your religion as a defense. But at the same time, if you haven't committed a crime and somebody wants to come after you, even if you have shitty ideas, even if you have the worst of ideas, we'll expose you for the worst of ideas you have. But if you haven't committed a crime and somebody's coming after you and wants to shut you down or wants to put you to jail, even if you have the crappiest idea of this on this planet, we will defend you because we're going to expose your crappy ideas. But unfortunately, you get to say those crappy ideas. You get to say it. And we will stand. You don't go to jail. You don't get a fine. The government shouldn't come after you. We come after you. That's our job, okay? When you have crappy ideas, the government shouldn't come after you for your crappy ideas. We activists come after you and ridicule you and mock you for your crappy ideas. But if the government comes after you, we have to defend you. We have to defend you. We're like, they didn't commit a crime.
Oh my gosh. David is saying, I'm a free speech absolutist, but no, saying cut off people's heads is not free speech. If you're referring to Ali Dawa, he's never,
So
to my knowledge, he totally has the freedom to advocate for that.
No, okay. So here's the line. Here's the line. Okay. So there is a line. There is a line. Okay. This is where I drew the line. This is where I think the line should be. And I'm happy to agree this because inciting violence is a crime. Okay. But what do we mean by that specifically? And I'm happy to move this line if based on evidence, but based on what I've seen so far, if somebody comes and says, go kill Armin, that should be legal. Okay. But if somebody comes and says that in an ideal society, somebody saying what Armin was saying would be killed, should be killed, then that should be protected under free speech.
That's totally fine.
That is not direct incitement of violence against me. Okay, again, that is horrible. No, it's not. Well, it's not fine. So
I
it's
mean,
not. Yeah.
you're free to say it.
Yes. Okay, but it's definitely not fine. Okay.
No.
Okay. So, like, guys,
What are you talking about?
I know, but you said it's fine. It's a really bad idea to even say that, and we need to expose it. We need to highlight it. We need to like showcase it. We need to be like, oh my god, look at these people with these crazy ideas. Okay, if somebody says, "Go behead Armin," that should be illegal. If somebody says though that in under the right conditions, which we are not meeting right now, Armin should be beheaded for his ideas, that is an unfortunate idea to have, and it should be highlighted and ridiculed and criticized, but it should be legal to say that. It should be legal to say that. There's a difference. Do you guys see the difference? We got a super chat. $5 super chat from Aluza Akbar is saying, to quote Jon Stewart speaking about Cat Stevens, death for free speech is a deal breaker. Wait, death for free speech is a deal breaker. Interesting. Death for free speech is a deal breaker. Yeah, it is a deal breaker. Wait, I want to see what that was. It David? Do you understand? Is David see my point now or no? Still no. We are watching it. Should it be legal? Yeah, that should be legal. Like, yeah, I know. He's again. It should be alarming. It should be highlighted. But should it be legal? Do you want to make it? Do you want to make we're watching you illegal? That's kind of crazy. I mean, you could argue maybe it's worthy of YouTube ban or a Twitter ban or something. Maybe you could argue that, but illegal, that is overkill. Overkill.
Yeah, I'd certainly keep that as evidence.
Yeah, put it on the books.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be legal. Any other pushbacks against what I'm saying in the live chat? Thank you again, by the way, for the super chat. Guys, when I say we don't, okay, so I don't know what this means, okay? You don't have to tolerate bad ideas. We don't tolerate bad ideas. We fight against bad ideas, right? But you don't use the law against bad ideas. You use the law against crimes. We do not tolerate bad ideas. We fight bad ideas with our own bad ideas. That's not tolerance. We don't accept them. We fight against them. But you don't use the law against bad ideas. That's the very definition of thought police.
Oh, David is saying, I understand your point, but people that believe Sharia should be implemented and also believe under proper Sharia it's okay to kill people.
Yeah,
they're free to believe that.
No, but that's bad. That's a bad idea. Like, you guys,
it is a bad idea, but
no,
they can.
The confusion, Susanna. I think the confusion is when we say something it should be legal, people think we're endorsing those ideas. I think that's a confusion. When I say like this crappy idea should be legal for somebody to say it, you guys do understand that that's not an endorsement of those ideas, right? And those are and that those ideas need to be fought against. Like, we don't think like these ideas, it's okay for people to have them. Like, no, we think we should fight against those ideas. We just don't think the government should arrest people or fine those people or punish those people for those ideas. We just think that's not the right way to fight against those ideas. When we say the government shouldn't criminalize certain ideas, that doesn't mean that they should be tolerated. That doesn't mean that we should just let them be. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't fight back against them. That doesn't mean that we like them. That doesn't mean that we endorse them. It's our job to fight back against these ideas. We just think that's not the government's job. The government should arrest people who are criminals and doing crimes. There needs to be a solution to these bad ideas. There needs to be a pushback, but that ain't it. Because if that's it, then we're creating a new monster. If you want to get government involved in thought policing people, you're creating a new monster. It's gonna it's going to maybe give you the return that you want in the short term. In the long term, it's going to bite you in the ass so much so. You're giving the government the authority to decide which ideas are good and which ideas are bad, and to ban certain ideas. Just keep trying that for 50 years and see what happens. Bye enlightenment values. Okay, by the way, okay, so here's another. Bro, of course we do, but the point is there are people actively seeking out Sharia courts in UK. There are 300 Sharia courts domestic in UK. Well, that should be legal. That's okay. So again, so this should be legal. This is not secularism. So I don't understand. Just because these are separate things you're saying, though, David.
Yeah.
You're like, you said something and I said that shouldn't be legal, and you're like, yes, but this. Well, that's a new thing that is separate from that other thing. This new thing should be legal because we shouldn't have two-tier legal system. That's anti-secular.
Yeah, one law for all.
So I don't understand when I say that should be legal, and you're like, but this, like, okay, well, this thing needs to be illegal. So this thing that you're introducing now is different from the thing that you were telling me before.
Very distinct. Oh, we got a super chat though. D. Solomon gave us 5 British pounds. Thank you. Saying belated happy birthday to Susanna. Thank you. On a different note, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Right? Exactly.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Oh, people were asking me how my hangover is doing. Should I get into that?
Wait, I need to address David. I like that David. I like that David is pushing back. It's not separate.
No, it's separate.
Okay, David. Okay, they're related, but they're different. Okay, they're related, but they're different. One of them is an idea. The other one is establishing Sharia courts in the non-Islamic country. Okay, one of them is like, okay, it's more than just one of them is an idea, and one of them is an expression of idea. The other one is actual an action. Okay, do you not see the difference between I have these views and me saying that should be legal? Like, I'm not going to do anything about it, but I have these views. Like, okay, you go to jail because you have these views. No, that's wrong. We shouldn't do that. Okay, do you not see the difference between me saying that somebody saying I have these views and why that shouldn't be illegal? How that is different from somebody saying, oh yeah, let's have the legal system in this country, let's establish a two-tier system, and we have a court that has a different law for these people based on an arbitrary definition of who belongs to this religion, and they abide by these rules, who are different laws separate from the secular laws that we have from the country. Like, let's come up with an entire process, a methodology, a legal system, different institutions, establishing that and saying like, yeah, I don't think the government should do that. I think that should not be allowed. You do not see the difference between that and me saying that somebody just having an opinion shouldn't be illegal, and expressing that opinion shouldn't be illegal. Do you not see the difference between how big of a gap there is between these two?
Yeah, Retard Skeptic explained it very well. Endorsing Sharia verbally can be protective, but actually implementing it is another.
Yeah, thank you. That was a very good summary of it. Okay, David. By the way, I appreciate, David, that you are pushing back against me, okay? Because this is more fun when you do that. David saying, I'm not saying having those views is wrong. Well, I'm saying it's wrong. Again, guys, please do not use those. Having those ideas is wrong. Guys, please do not misunderstand. When I say something is shouldn't be illegal, it doesn't mean it's not wrong. They're wrong, okay? David saying, I'm not saying having those ideas is wrong, but do you see the difference between Sharia advocacy versus just having a thought? There is a direct action involved in the latter. Okay, yeah, but that action is speech, and speech, just like having a thought, shouldn't be illegal. Giving a certain form of speech shouldn't also be illegal. By the way, I'm not saying having those views is wrong. Again, David,
I think David meant to say, I'm not saying having those views is illegal.
Oh, illegal. Okay, yeah. He's saying illegal. Okay. Yes. So he meant that I'm not saying having those views is illegal. Yeah, it shouldn't be illegal. But I agree with David that there's a difference between Sharia advocacy and just having those thoughts. But again, just like having those thoughts should be legal, advocating certain ideas, unless it's unless it's a scam, unless it's libel, unless it's a direct threat to direct harm, right? Advocating direct harm on somebody, then it should be legal, right? Direct, okay? You cannot be like, dude, like Mein Kampf. You can buy Mein Kampf on Amazon. You could buy
Oh boy.
Mein Kampf on Amazon, right? You can buy it, and again, I like that you can buy that. I want you to be able to buy that on Amazon. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is a bragging. You know what? That's a look how defeated your ideas are that we get to sell that we're this. You know, it's so anti-Sharia to let Sharia advocacy happen. Okay, because under a Sharia,
Oh.
yeah, it's so anti-fascist, and it's so anti-Sharia for you to live in a country where the ideas that are trying to shut you down are free to express themselves. Like if this is not this is like if this is not a symbol of defeating, you know, anti-enlightenment values, like such a Chad move. Okay, like look at you. I'm so you are so defeated that I'm not even banning you. That's how committed I am to free speech. The people that who want to ban us, I'm not even banning you. Okay, go. We are so confident in our ideas and how easily we could defeat you with our better ideas that
Yeah,
we just let you spew your nonsense. Okay, you lose,
guys.
guys. You win against these ideas because how confidently you know your ideas are better to defeat them. You lose against these ideas when you try to shut them down, and now they have the narrative. Because now you're not winning against them because you have the better ideas. Now they think we must have the better ideas because they're shutting us down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now they get to go. That's how you actually spread them.
And
Try to shut them down.
they get driven underground.
They get
If
driven underground, but they wouldn't, and they will not go away. They will not
no,
go
but
away.
when they're driven underground, that's where they metastasize. Let me
Yes,
be
and the
clear.
people who are exposed to them are not going to have access to us because you just move them into their own echo chambers. What's David
You
saying?
guys, you heard it here first. Hashtag free speech Chad. Free speech Chad.
David, David, message me. David, we should bring David on for discussion. David is a member. So David, let me
Mm-hmm.
know. Reach out to us on atheistrepublic.com. Guys, do not reach out to us if you're not you know, there's too many people trying to reach out to us. But David is a member, okay? So David, if you want to do a one-on-one discussion about this, let's have that, okay?
Or David, I think you're also a member on Patreon. That's a good way to reach out to us too.
Oh yeah, well, you are. Wow. Yes, David. Please message us on Patreon because we're definitely not gonna miss that. Come, let's have a conversation about this.
Yeah, if you're a Patreon, it's much easier for us to find your messages there.
But I do appreciate the pushback. Like, please don't get upset with us because we don't want to scare away the people who are challenging us because I want to be challenged like this. I appreciate the
Nah,
challenge. I appreciate
David's
the
not a baby.
David's not a baby, but yeah, I appreciate the challenges that we get from our own community more than because they're usually a lot more nuanced and interesting. Is David still here? David, did you go away? I hope David is still here. Oh yeah, David is still
Nah.
here. Yeah, of course we gotta keep you on your toes. I mean, yes, please do. Okay, David, miss it. If you want to do an entire live stream dedicated to us discussing this together, then contact us on Patreon. Okay. Yes, David, go for it. Would be interesting, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but not. But I'm not. Anyways, we have to end this here. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you especially to David today for the pushback, and thank you for the super chat. And guys, please also consider becoming a patron because we got our first strike, and we're going to get demonetized probably at some point. So we really need more patrons to be able to keep doing what we're doing, because we have a lot of expenses. We have a major team that we pay. So please, if we get to a certain level of patrons, then we're going to be good, even if YouTube demonetizes us, right? I think if we ever get to 300 patrons, then even if YouTube demonetizes us, we're good. We're good. We can keep going. Okay. So hopefully we'll get there one day. One day. Okay. Anyways,
Inshallah.
inshallah. All right. Bye, guys. Make sure you subscribe. It doesn't matter if you're not a patron or you're a member. You can still support us. Support us just by subscribing. Support it. It doesn't cost you anything. If you can't support us financially, just hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell button and then hit all. It doesn't cost you even half a second. Just do it. Do it now.